Good morning, everybody. All right. Oh my gosh, y'all. We have no water here this morning. What in the world? There was a main break here in town and we have no water. But we're still going to do makeup. I've got 3 more looks to do today, so I've got to get started. Avery comes home at 6 p.m. So I know this is church hours. We have not settled in enough to take care of that mess yet. So we are here at home this morning. Jory is home. He has been here since yesterday. And we are getting prepared to deal with life. So I know there's a bunch of my people that are going to be at church. So if you're catching a replay, remember #replay. If you jump on, say hello. We have got, I know my hair looks absolutely crazy. So without any water, I was unable to shower this morning. So we have coffee in the grouped cup. We are going to be doing an Indian look that I found online. Again, I have no Wi-Fi yet, so I have no way to reference a picture. I have no source picture. But we're going to do the best we can. So this is going to be kind of simple. My more dramatic, crazier looks are going to come later today. There will be 2 after this one. I'll be doing a very colorful sugar skull. And then I'll be doing also this kind of made up, kind of creepy, googly eyed look that I came up with. So here goes nothing, right? So coffee in abundance, no water, which is awesome. So once I get this on my face, I have no way to wash it off until they fix the water. So hopefully they fix the water main break in town before, hey Jen, before, I have to go somewhere with my Indian war paint on. So here goes nothing. I have already moisturized my face. I am going to prime. However, I'm not going to be using any professional face paints today. My Bow Buggles Pro Kit will be left aside for this one. Everything I do here ought to be able to be created with just my Limelife products, which is fun. So, hi Trish. Hi y'all. Say hello. Remember, if you guys are just now catching me and you're not following me and you're not friends with me, but you're catching me live, thanks for watching. Click my nose and hit the follow button and you'll see all of the fun Halloween looks that we're going to be doing, plus Limelife makeup on occasion. So you guys click that follow button and don't forget to share. If you guys like this stuff, share it. It helps me network so much. So I got so much love from everybody yesterday. It was so exciting and that's super encouraging. So that's awesome. Love it. All right, so this is going to be an Indian look. We're going to be using, hi Trish. We're going to be using... Y'all like this crazy hair. I just can't get over like the fluff that is happening. My hair never has volume. But it is deciding to do some crazy stuff today. Which is fine because it's just, I watched Dancing with Wolves and her hair was very crazy. And maybe that's where the inspiration came from. But her hair was like really, crazy and gross. So we're going to put a headband on and we're going to accessorize it up a little bit. And then we'll be good to go. So we're going to start with basic foundation. Y'all like my Groot cup? Isn't he cute? Okay, we're going to start with basic foundation, but I don't have my, like I said, for looks that I'm not going to be going, you guys hear me repeat this every time I do a video, because I do use only Limelife products on myself. However, I am out of my priming spray because I've been using my Limelife SPF sunscreen because it's a primer and a firming lotion and sunscreen all in one, so I use that on the regular. But since I'm not going to be going outside, I don't want to use that and waste it. So I'm just using an Urban Decay Quick Fix priming spray for these Halloween looks. Not that it works better, but just because I don't have any of my Limelife priming spray because I haven't been using it anymore. So this is what I'm going to be using to prime my face. Oh, thanks, Jen. Hi, Sally Ann. Hi. So just prime, simple sprays. Da-da-da, smells so good. So you're just going to let that dry and set on your face. I'm going to have a headband on later. We'll throw some accessories together and sort of make all of this sort of come together after we do the makeup. It's a little hard to put the wigs and everything on and try to have all those accessories on and do the face. So I always do my face first and then accessorize later. So we're going to start here. All right, we have our little black box, Limelife, little black box. We have our Olive 2 foundation, which is what I am. I'm going to go in with my blender full and grab a 1/4 turn or so of that. I am going to be darkening out my skin tone quite a bit. So this is just going to be basic coverage, and then we are going to be bronzing and making it all pretty dark. You know, because I'm not even close to Native American skin tone. So we're going to have to fake it till we make it. So we're going to put this on. Hi, Lori. Hi, Benjamin. Hi, y'all. Hi, Trish. My two Trishes. My two loyal Trishes. Okay, so we're going to be putting this foundation all over. Guys, this look is actually fairly simple, seriously. I think the hardest part is going to be getting that line because, and I know y'all don't have any clue what I'm talking about because I didn't give you a reference picture, but it's a very faded, so we're going to start about right here, and we're going to blend and fade some red into orange into yellow, and that whole section here, all of that blending is going to happen in that amount of space, just right across the mask area. So, and I'm using all of my Limelife for that. So I think that's going to be the hardest part is getting that very straight line across my face. So we're going to try some stuff because I don't have any, they make tools for that. I don't have, they have a bend board that bends, it's like so flexible and you bend it around like surfaces on your face and stuff like that. It just attaches straight to it and creates a very straight line. I don't happen to have one of those. So we're just going to do our best. So I'm just going to be putting this foundation on all over. Don't forget your ears. Blend into your hairline. Hi, y'all. Thanks, Charles. I love my Groot. So Groot, I actually have a like mini obsession with Groot. It's, I love him so much. So I got that coffee cup at GameStop while I had my son there picking out PlayStation stuff. I spotted him from like across the store. I was like, oh, must have Groot. And so if you guys know me, I have a coffee cup obsession to begin with. Coffee cups are my jam. So I had to get Groot in a coffee cup. I'm going to go in with my blender full in that pointed end and grab some of my concealer. And we're going to conceal my under eyes and on my lids. So this you normally see me do with my buffer brush when I'm doing my everyday makeup. But this is a little more intense. So we're going to be canceling out any back color. So a little bit thicker concealer than normal. And that mask comes all the way to the outside. So I'm just sort of blending that all the way out. And guys, I'm seriously flying by the seat of my pants with these Halloween looks because I have nothing to look at once I get started. Because I look them up, some of them on my phone or, you know, on the internet or whatever. I don't have any way because I'm on my phone and I don't have Wi-Fi here yet. I have no way to reference a picture, or I would look at my tablet and have a picture available, but I have no way to do that. Okay. So normally you'd see me go in with my contour brush and start contouring at this point, but I can't do that right now. So we are going to pull, what is that? Oh gosh, y'all. They need to fix this water. It's like day 3. This is normally the day that I only wash my hair like twice a week. And this is usually the day I would start curling. So it is really like dirty and it is past the stage of dry shampoo help. Okay, so I'm going to go into my bronzer and I'm actually going to be putting this sort of all over. I'm not going to create anything way too dark. But I do want to give my face a little bit darker tint. So instead of doing it just here, we're going to be putting this all over. So my powder brush, which I normally use for my setting powder, we're going to be using that for my bronzer. And we're going to put that all over and just sort of deepen up our skin tone a tad. Which I would never do on the regular. And this is a very flat look. It's not metallic at all, but you could always, you know, you could spunk it up a little bit with some metallics if you wanted, which we might do. Because if you guys know me, I love color and I love bling. So a lot of my stuff is very, very colorful and very blingish. So we're just going to blend all of that out. Guys, my hair, this is ridiculous. There's so many knots happening. Oh, hi, Devin. All right, cool. Yay. All right, so we're just blending that bronzer on all over. Tons of fun, tons of fun. So I'm not going to be bringing anything too far down. I'm just going to blend a little bit down here on my collarbone just so that it doesn't look so offset in the final pictures. Okay, now I am still going to go in with my contour brush and we are going to contour just a tad because Native Americans are known for their very high cheekbones, and so we want to make those pretty prominent. I don't want to do anything too crazy because I want that pigment that I'm going to be putting on top of this to really pop, and so we can't have a very busy background and make that happen. So we're just gonna contour out our cheekbones with that same bronzer we used all over. We're just gonna build another layer. So that's this professional grade makeup. You can build and build and build. So even though I put that bronzer all over my face, we're gonna build another level of that here in our contour area, and that's gonna give us those cheekbones that we're hunting. So just in that hollow line right there. And then just blend it up a tad towards your temple. And sometimes this takes, referencing, looking. You'll see me like stop. It's not because I don't have anything to do. It's because I'm just sort of checking both sides. When I'm doing makeup on other people, it's a lot easier because my vantage point is more circular, so I can sort of see everything a little bit better. When I'm looking at myself very two-dimensional in the camera, it's harder. So I have to kind of turn and pause and look and make sure that everything's looking symmetrical. So a lot of that pigment went to the side of my nose, which is great because that's actually where I wanted it. So we're just going to blend it out without picking up any more of it. So this is actually going to be one of those like very pretty looks. It's not scary or, girls can pull this off and it just looks really pretty. All right, so we have some pretty intense contour happening. Hi, Allison. So we're going to blend this out. Sorry, people are vibrating my phone so it unfocuses. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go in with some of my setting powder and just kind of blend that into all of this with that same brush. This is going to give me that very airbrushed look. It mattifies everything. So there's that. All right. My skin tone has never been that dark naturally. I'm just letting you know. That is like a recurring dream that I have, to be this dark. Okay, so from here is where we're sort of going to start building. We're going to start building our mask. No, we're not. Just lied. We're going to do our eyes. Okay. So I'm going to go in with my number 10 eye brush. And I'm going to we're going to keep this all very neutral because the colors that we put around here are going to be very vibrant. So I just want to sort of give my eyes a little tad bit of color. What we're going to do is go into, I have my 18 well palette here, and I'm going to go into one of these very earth tone colors here, and I'm going to grab this lightest one. This has sort of a reddish tint. Tap off your excess because that's a lot of pigment, y'all. I'm going to cover my eyelid and then circular blend in this outer corner and then windshield wiper blend it in my crease. So we're just going to work that pigment all over our eyelid. And not too much of it. This is really just going to sort of give us a canceling out blending base for the red, orange, and yellow that's about to happen on our mask. Guys, if I can pull off this straight line with this mask, I'm going to be super proud of myself. All right, so y'all don't forget, like everything I'm using today is all Limelife products. So you can get a very non-toxic, non-chemical Halloween look easily. Easily. Okay, so there's that. Now I am going to do my brows. So we have our new brow gels that just launched. I actually had a customer make an order for one of these this morning, which is awesome. Hi, Adrian. So, hi, Pam. We have, I'm using medium. We're going to use this. It's really simple. So, no more pencils, no more harsh lines. This looks very natural. So it has a spoolie end on it like mascara. And it has fibers in here. So they're gonna work just like our mascara does, like building like Velcro. And it attaches to just your hair. So this is super easy. Now, if you feel like you need deeper color, they come clear, light, medium, and dark. So we go one direction here, kind of helping to settle all those hairs out. Now we're gonna go backwards and fluff that up. That's gonna give us a little bit of extra fill pigment and they're gonna look totally crazy. And then we're gonna go back in and straighten everything out and set it. So that just gives those fibers layers and layers and layers to grab. And then what I do is I go in with a very fine brush and go along, hi Tamara, go along the outside here. And I just kind of clean that up. This is so easy. Hi Matt, y'all say hi when you get on, hello. Okay, so we're gonna go into this eyebrow here. Now I'm gonna deepen these up a little bit with some of our number 6 waterproof concealer because I need these to be very prominent because this is actually one of the main focus points of this look. So there's 2 focus points. There's these eyebrows and mask, and then there's this design that's gonna go on the side of my face. I haven't decided which side yet. So, you know, you fill backwards and then go back in. Guys, I'm telling you, these things are amazing. These brow gels are a lifesaver. It's that simple. My brows have never been so easy to do, seriously. And they look very natural, so you don't get that very fake brow look, which I'm not really into anyway. And then I just sort of clean up with a little brush around them if you need to. I mean, I'm pretty messy with makeup, so cleanup for me is pretty standard. All right, so I'm gonna go in with my spoolie end, brush end eye brush. We are gonna grab some of this number 6 waterproof concealer here. This is gonna give me more of a reddish background base. The brow gel is more of an ashy base. So blondes and brunettes, you know, everything's made for you. Us redheads are always left out. So we're gonna go in, and this gives me, because these are very ashy looking. If you can see, like, that is not a red tint base at all. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to create that red tint with this concealer, which is actually our deepest brown. But when I mix this in with this, it gives me like a perfect match to my hair color, which is awesome. I've never had an eye gel that's ever matched, or an eye pencil that's ever directly matched my red hair. So we just want to make sure that those are very sharp. All of our brows are in place. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit more of that concealer. Hi guys. Thanks, Sally Ann. Okay, so this look is these lines are going to be dependent on where my eyebrows are. So you want to just take extra care to make sure that everything is as symmetrical as possible. Guys, I get eyebrows are never exactly the same. It's, I think, every woman's nemesis. Eyebrows are the hardest. This brow gel has made things so much easier for me. So just make sure that they're sort of coming down to the same level. You might have to fill or create or lengthen or whatever. Just make sure they're pretty even. Adrienne, I love you. Okay. How's it looking? We're getting there. Guys, this is the darkest I've ever been. I wish I was this dark naturally. I have very pale skin and freckles. All right. So that foundation gives us amazing coverage. And my freckles are pretty much gone. All right, so we're not doing any crazy eyeshadow because our mask is going to go there. So we want to keep our background and our canvas fairly blank. So, Adrienne, you're cracking me up. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my setting spray and put a level of setting spray on this. Okay, so once that dries, guys, I'm going to try to make this straight line. Okay, so it goes red, orange, and yellow. So here's what I'm doing. I'm using my Limelife products, and I'm going to be using our number 2 blush, Excited. It has a little bit of setting powder down in there. It's been a rough couple days with makeup. So that's our red blush, Excited, our number 2 blush. Our new Danessa Myricks blush in the color Oh Snap is very orange. So red, orange, and then I'm gonna be using my Lottie palette. So my Lottie Dazzle palette has this little yellow color right here. I'm gonna be using that towards the bottom. And these colors are not defined individually. They're very blended. So we're just gonna do our best. Blending is going to be a lot easier without setting spray, but you're sort of caught in the catch-22 there because you're gonna get a more vibrant color if you use setting spray. So we're just gonna work it. It's hot in here, sorry. We're just gonna work it until we make it happen. So this is what we're gonna do. All right, I have a piece of frog tape, and that's what I'm actually gonna be using to line off the top of this. So it's gonna look really silly, but it's going to be incredibly helpful. So we're gonna put this tape lined up with the bottom of our eyebrows. So if your outer points, sort of like mine, come down a little bit further than your inner sections, you're gonna wanna use the line here because we don't want that color interrupting our eyebrows. So use this point. I'm gonna be using this point as my mapping start point. And so I just wanna make sure that I go from temple to temple. This looks really silly, but I'm telling you, guys, it's gonna be a lifesaver. So it's not gonna stick all the way down, but it's gonna give us a really good guide. Does it look awesome? I think we'll take a coffee break with the frog tape on my head. Hello to everybody just now joining. Frog tape. Okay, so I'm gonna scoot that over just a tad though. So that setting spray is gonna help those eyebrows and stuff stay in place while I, manipulate this tape. It's not gonna rip all my makeup off while I'm going here. So I'm gonna be using that as a stencil. Laugh it up, laugh it up. Okay, here we go. I am gonna be starting with, I really wanna map that out first, but, okay. So I'm gonna hold this in place over here. And I'm gonna start just blending in a little bit of red just right along that tape line because, so funny, y'all, so funny. I'm gonna be starting with this red. And I just wanna put enough pigment, and I'm gonna be looking behind you guys. I just wanna put enough pigment along that line just to give me that line. I don't want to be, because I only have this much room to do that red, orange, and yellow. Y'all laugh now. Laugh it up. It's going to work. And just go section by section and work your way over. Now, like I said, if I was doing this professionally, I would have some bendy tape, which is incredibly helpful. I don't have a bendy board. I need one, I guess. I wasn't intending on doing this look. So you just want to press that tape down the best you can. It's going to give you the line to go across because you just want it pressed as close to your skin as possible. So just work in sections, making sure that that tape is pressed down to your forehead. Funny, funny. So once I get that line, not so funny now, huh? Bam. Check it. Check it. Okay. So we're also going to have to do the same thing at the bottom because this is what's also going to map out our yellow color towards the end. So I'm going to go ahead and map out the yellow section so that I can see. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have Raspberry Beret here. But the only thing that I didn't want to do, Sally Ann, is I didn't want it to be very pink because when I get this done, it's going to be very red. And I wanted to go very primary. So I wanted it to be very red, orange, and then yellow. So I didn't want it to be very pinkish. But yeah, you could create any colors you wanted, honestly. It wouldn't have to be this. Okay, so we're going to go along here. And I'm going to start at the crease of my nose. And we're going to work our way out. So it's like putting on a Biore nose strip, y'all. Okay, so we're going to grab another brush I'm going to go into my Lottie Dazzle palette into that yellow color. And we're going to place that pigment. Can y'all hear me? I sound like I'm all nasally and stopped up. So I mean, I could have freehanded this, but I promise you, I'm still on my first cup of coffee. This would not have been a straight line. Would not have been a straight line. So we're just going to throw that pigment up next to that tape. And you can see that yellow starting to form. Is that not awesome? So awesome. Okay, so I'm going to continue this line on track all the way over. So it basically is just stenciling out my coverage, my line of where my shadow needs to go. Helps keep everything symmetrical. It also gives me an idea of, since I'm doing 3 different colors, the spacing of my colors and how far apart they all need to be. We're done with the crazy tape, y'all. Okay, so those colors are going to blend into each other. We're going to work on this for just a minute. This is going to be the hardest part of the entire look. So, hi, Rhonda. This is honestly going to be the hardest part. We're going to be changing brushes quite often. We're going to be dry brushing and we're going to be blending a lot. So, coffee break. Okay, so I'm going to be using that same brush that I started with. This is our number 4 brush. This is actually a foundation brush, but I'm using it for this. I'm going to go back into that number 2 blush, Limelife Blush Excited. And I'm going to start filling in these lines. We're going to want the harshest of the pigment at the top towards that line, blending into a softer pigment towards the bottom, because that's where the orange is going to start. And guys, this part might take just a tad while, because this is where we're going to, I mean, we really need to stay inside that line. So I'm going to be depositing a ton of pigment up towards that line. All the way across into my hairline. Oh, yay! Good luck, Swim Mom. Hopefully they do great. Thank you, honey. All right, so we are going to, and guys, I've never done this before, so, you know, bear with me. So we're just going to be depositing that very red color all the way around. I think what I want to do, no, I'm going to leave it. I was going to do setting spray, but I'm really afraid it's going to interrupt my blending. So now I'm going to just start blending that red a little further down, and we're going to kind of morph into an orange, which I have my Danessa Myricks Oh Snap on hand and ready. So just keep layering and keep building and keep blending. It's going to look really cool when we're finished, I promise. Okay. So I really like this brush doing this. So sorry, I'm coughing, y'all. I don't know what the allergies is in this house, or if it's Clyde or being back here or what, but I am like wheezing and coughing really, really badly. Okay. So I'm going to go in with that same brush, and I'm going to start with my Danessa Myricks Oh Snap Orange. And we're going to blend that orange into this red, and then we're going to blend the orange into the yellow. So multiple steps here. So start very lightly, because you're going to want to blend these 2 colors together. So just deposit some pigment right along that line. And I brought that red all the way over to the corner of my eyes, so that when I started another color, I wasn't trying to blend these 2 colors up in my eyelid would be horrific. So I just used that line, the corners of my eyes, as a stopping point for that red. That way I could do the underside of my eye in orange, and it just keeps that line a little easier to manage. So we're going to go in and do this orange, corner of my eye and underneath. So if these lines are harsh for right now, that's okay. Just get the pigment deposited on. So you can see this, just like every other product in Limelife. Hi, Megan. I love you. This is buildable. So you can see that color gets a little deeper and a little richer every single time I put a layer on. But this ought to start looking very sunsetish, not, you can see right now it's very harsh lines in between those colors. By the end of all this, these will just blend into each other. So there's our orange. Now I'm going to go into my yellow, which is in my Lottie Dazzle palette. So this yellow here is the yellow I'm going to be using on the bottom. If you guys missed the making of the lines with the frog tape, watch the replay. Now this one I might have to use setting spray for because it is, I mean, it's just not incredibly visible. We're going to build a layer of it up. Good morning. So we are going to be building this in layers. So the more we build, the more pigment we put on, the more build we're going to get out of this. And that yellow is metallic-y. Can y'all see it? Because it's my Lottie Dazzle palette. So this one is not flat. This one's going to be metallic, but that'll be okay. So we're going to put that yellow on, and we're going to want these to just kind of morph into one another. So I'm going to go in and we're going to blend these out really well. I'm going to use my setting spray on this brush and then go back into that Lottie Dazzle yellow, and it's going to give me a really intense pigment. Perfect. That's better. I don't know if that shows up on camera, but in person, that looks way better. Okay, so we have red, orange, yellow. Now I'm going to be blending this in. The best way to do that is with, I'm wheezing so badly. Best way to do that is with a dry brush and a small pointed brush. So I'm going to be going into one of my Ruby brushes. This is one of my favorite brushes of all time. It is very fluffy and it does have a point on it. So we're going to go into that. It is dry, no setting spray, and no pigment in it yet. And we're actually just going to rub. I've got my brush cleaner sponge here ready. And we are just going to rub right along that line and clean the brush out. And you're going to be cleaning it frequently. So just use that tip, that point. I don't know where my cleaning spray is. Hang on just a second, y'all. Sorry. 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so I have some dry brush cleaning spray. It's Brush Bath. This is from It Cosmetics, but Limelife does not have a dry cleaning spray. This stuff is amazing. So you spray your brush with it. It smells really good. And then you clean all that pigment out. And you don't have to wash. It's like washing your brush, but it's a dry spray that dries really fast. So when you're changing colors or doing blends like this, you don't have to wet your brush. That brush I'm not liking right now. All my brushes need to be cleaned really, really well. I think yesterday we took, did a number on my brushes. All right, so I'm going to go in with my Luxie brush. You guys see me use this brush all the time. Much better. Okay, we're going to blend those colors out. So just barely touch your skin, blend those two colors together. You can do that in circular motions. You can do that rubbing back and forth. I mean, however you want. This is where it's going to be the most noticeable. So just work that line and blend until you see it blending together. I can hear my neighbor's wolf. That is bone-chilling sound, y'all. I'm telling you. Crazy. So nuts. I wish y'all could hear that. It's insane sounding. Okay, like full-grown wolf makes Rin look like a puppy. It's insane. All right, so we have our red, orange, and our yellow on here. Looking pretty fantabulous. All right, I am going to go in with a little bit more of my Lottie yellow. Da-da-da. And I just want to press some more pigment into this part here. Don't go over your line. Keep your line. Keep your line. So there. Fabulous. Okay, so we don't have anything on our lips. I'm actually going to cancel out my lips with some concealer. And then I'm going to be putting some bronzer on those. So give me just 2 seconds. We actually might be using a little bit of my Bow Buggles palette. I might be using some white. I haven't decided yet. Okay. So there is no eyeliner happening right now. We're going to work on our lips for just a second. I'll be doing all of my blacks last. So, and there will be some kind of intense eyeliner happening there. Okay, so I'm going to go in and just brush on, just with any brush, it doesn't matter. Some bronzer onto my lips. That bronzer has a little bit of metallic element to it. We're going to create some sort of Indian type designs on our face in white. And so that's going to give a more neutral background so that white will really stand out. So I'm going to start with a pencil. Sharpener ready because we're probably going to be using this a lot. So always give your pencil a fresh sharpen. Always, always. Because you'll have stuff that settles on the outside of these pencils. Pigment, color, whatever. So always give your pencils a fresh sharpen before you start. So we're going to start here, and I'm going to be creating sort of a triangle here that's going to cover my chin. I'm going to freehand this. So when I freehand, if you'll just map it out, it will make it a lot easier for you. I'm not going to be able to talk to you guys while I do this, so talk amongst yourselves. Hello, y'all. All right, so straight line down to those dots. Sketching strokes first. Always use a sketching stroke first. Cool. So we're going to use this pencil to fill that in. And then I'm going to go over the outsides of that with my Bow Buggles white. So just fill in that entire triangle with white. Don't worry too much about harsh strokes because we're going to be putting powder over it. So just work in small sections. And you honestly could bring that down as far as you want. I'm just doing front face because that's all we're going to see in a picture anyway. All right, so once we get our base color down, we want this to be very white. So I don't want to use concealer because my concealer is more skin toned. We want this to remain very, very white. So I'm actually going to be putting some setting powder on top of this. And then probably going in with some Danessa Myricks highlight on top of that. So a pointed brush because we want to be able to keep these lines. And I'm going to go in with my setting powder. And set that in place. So just give it a good little coat. Pretty good, pretty good. It's not symmetrical, but that's okay. Freehanding straight lines is really hard. Okay, that's better. Better-ish. Better-ish. So that setting powder is white, but it goes on clear. So there's that. Now I'm going to sharpen this pencil again. We're going to go in and sharpen all of that up with Beau Buggles white paint. So it's going to be very, very, very white. But for now, that's where we're at. I am going to go in and add some minute detailing. Thanks for the love, y'all. Y'all are awesome. Okay. So I'm going to go in and start adding all of this minute, and we're going to try to do this as symmetrical as possible. So just eyeball what you're working with. Try to get your spacing the same. So that fourth one is really right at the tip of our arch, which is really good. I actually pretty much spaced those exact. Pretty impressive. Okay, so sometimes I even astonish myself. My circles on the other side did get a little large, so we're just going to kind of even those out, like so. All right, so in the very center, centering is really hard because everybody's face, no one's face is symmetrical, so that makes this really hard, so just do the best you can. Find your center line, which typically is where your hairline comes in. Try to find that center point. You can do it actually by finding the center of your nose with your pencil up to the center point of your hairline. Not everybody's going to be the same, and sometimes it's going to be a little off, but that's okay. Just do the best you can. So we're going to try to space this using this as a guide in between there. Lift your pencil straight up and give yourself a little mark. So that's where we're going to use as our center line for our face. And guys, you could honestly create whatever, whatever look you want to do for here. So I'm going to use my magnifying mirror because that's way easier. And we're going to do a line of dots down the center. And like I said, we're just using this pencil as a basic starting point because I'm going to go back in with that white paint and make it really, really bright white. Although this pencil is pretty big. So we're going to just sort of make them smaller as we go down. My wrinkly forehead moving around. Good Lord. So just a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller until we get to the center one here. And that is basically just going to be a dot. Not looking too shabby. Okay, so I think in that I'm gonna have one side and probably this side here. There's going to be a red handprint that's going to go from about this part of my hand on the outer part of that white to here, 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 and here. And that's gonna be red. We're going to pull that off. It's going to happen. And then we are going to do something on this side. And I haven't quite decided what I want to do yet. So we'll just make something up. Cool. All right. Now I am going to go in and activate that Bow Buggles white. And we're going to go in and touch all of those white parts up to make them very, very white. This stuff is amazing. I love it. Hi, Dale. Hello. Y'all say hi. Okay, so I have my Bow Buggle palette here. This is all professional face paint. We're going to activate our white palette again. Y'all saw me use this quite a bit yesterday. We are going to be using my Limelife number 15 brush again because it just has the most amazing point on it. This is actually a lip lining brush. So I'm going to go in and use this brush to do my finite detail work on these dots up here. I'm going to start high and work low. It's a concept you'll learn in face paint too. When you're doing the paints that take a minute to dry, don't start down here because if you ever start bracing your hand to do your work up here, you're going to mess up what you've already done. So start high, work low. So we're going to activate that pot. So just take a little bit of water, put it inside that professional cake pan here. It didn't even have time to dry yesterday. It's still wet from yesterday. That's awesome. Okay. So this is going to be a very, very vibrant white, y'all. This is going to be, it's going to really accentuate all of those dots pretty heavily. So I'm going to be using this number 11 brush that I already have in here for right now because there's a ton of pigment in here from starting up the cake. And I'm going to start high and work low. So get my hair out of the way. I'm going to use this detail brush to clean up the outside. And I'm a little OCD, so circles are like the worst idea for me because I'll just be here all day making them circles. Super bright white. Now once those dry, oh my gosh, it'll be amazing. So we're just going to do the same thing with these. Try to clean up the outside with that tiny brush. This is our number 15 brush. This fly is back. Why does he love me so much? Go away. All right, so we're just gonna go around and do all of these dots and clean up as we go. Hey, thanks to all three of you guys for sticking with me. Hi, guys. Not looking too shabby. All right, one more dot here. And then we're going to fill in this down here, but we're going to be using a different brush for that because I need a point. So we're going to go back into our number 6 brush. You can see the difference, right? So that pencil gave us a really good starting point. But that white is very different. So maintaining that straight line down the side is where the point on this brush is going to come in really handy. So just as steady as possible. I like don't even breathe when I do that. And then just work in sections and fill all that in. Make sure you have a thick enough layer on. Sorry, y'all, I got Facebook messages coming through. It unfocuses everything. Okay. Pretty cool. Now, I'm going to go in with that lining brush that I was using to sort of just clean up my edges. This is our number 15 brush. It's actually a lip liner brush, and that's what I'm going to use to accentuate this here. Trying to keep those edges as sharp as possible. Again, freehanding those straight lines is really, really hard, but we'll make it work. All right, coming together, coming together. I do want to put just a tad bit of setting powder on top of that, but we're going to wait till all of that dries really, really well. All right, so I'm going to go in. I'm going to add a little bit of black liner, and we're going to do just the top of our eyes, not the bottom. We're going to try to do a pretty thick eyeliner. So this is our Limelife Smudge Proof Eyeliner Pen. So get a pretty good dark black line going. Now this is going to end, because we ended that red color right at the corner of our eye. It's going to end right where that red and yellow mix together. So I'm actually going to take that and I'm going to run that right along that pigment line. Just like that. So this eyeliner, I mean, even though I use it for everyday use, comes in really handy for looks like this, because that precision tip, I can make, using just the tip of it, I can make a very thin line, or if I lay it down against my lash line like this and pull, it's going to create a very thick line. So any detail work and guys, I'm telling you, it's like the world's easiest eyeliner to use. And it's smudge proof. So if you're used to your eyeliner sort of melting away during the day, it should not be doing that. All right, so we're gonna take this out, and you can see I ended just right on the outer side of that circle. So that's what I'm gonna do over here. I'm gonna pull it and try to make those as even as possible. Cool. All right, so there's that. Awesome, awesome. Okay, here's where things get a little weird because I don't know how to do this. I am actually going to put a little bit of cleaning spray on my hand and just get any pigment, just like I'm using my brush cleaner. So we're just gonna get any pigment that might be on my hand off of there, because I'm actually gonna be using my hand to make this handprint. So I'm just going to use my cleaning rag and sort of take any pigment that might be on my hand off of my hand. It's going to clean up any oils and stuff in my hand as well. We're going to be figuring out how to make this red. I might have to activate a face paint. Actually, that might be the best thing. I was going to use setting spray and my palette, but I just don't think that that's going to be vivid enough for this. I don't think that blush is going to pull enough pigment. So we're going to be using our Bow Buggles Red. I'm going to go into a brush here in my water. And we still don't have water here in Clyde, so I'm activating this with water that has white pigment in it. So I'm trying to pull from the edges and pray that we don't get like a pink color out of this. I am going to need enough pigment in this cake to cover my hand. So can hear that wolf, y'all. That's so nuts. So we're just going to keep rubbing and keep activating. The more water you add, you just got to dig into levels of that cake. Because I'm going to have to cover my entire hand with this. So, and we don't want it to be too runny, because when I put it on my face, I want it to stick. I don't want it to be runny when I finish. Hello, Donald and Cheryl. I don't know which one you are right now. Say hello. I always get confused with people with like the dual Facebooks. Okay, y'all make sure you're sharing, like and share, like and share, like and share. All right, so I'm gonna jump in. We're gonna use a brush and we are gonna apply this red paint to my hand. Guys, I've never done this before. I'm sitting here talking like I'm a pro, like I know what I'm doing, and I do not. I do not. I don't really know what brush I wanna use to do this. Actually, I do know what brush I want to use. Where's that big brush? Okay, so that foundation brush we use to do this. Hi, y'all. I'm going to be covering my hand in this red face paint, and then we're going to be putting it kind of like the ball of our hand here underneath. Actually, I'll probably start. I mean, my hand is so got like man hands. Good grief. With my man hands. All right, so I'm just going to paint this on. We're going to have to work pretty fast because this paint does dry rather quickly. Hopefully we can get enough of it on here and it not dry. So I'm just painting that onto my hand here. Oh my gosh, we need more water. Guys, I'm so nervous. So you might want to make this a little more runny than normal just so that you have time to sort of manipulate this color onto your hand and work. And it's non-toxic, so don't worry about getting it everywhere. I mean, it's kind of dripping onto my vanity right now, but that's okay. I don't really know how much of my hand is actually going to be in the handprint itself, but we're just going to cover it all just to see. I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm trying to work quickly down here, so sorry. And just keep it pretty runny. Now, I don't want it so runny that it's going to run everywhere when I touch my face, but it's going to have to be kind of runny. Okay. Ah! This is going to mess up the whole look if I do this wrong. Okay. Are y'all ready? I'm terrified. Okay. Oh my gosh. How cool is that? What? Now I have a big red hand. Okay. And I have no water. That's awesome. So we're going to try to clean this up the best we can. Oh, look. This is why you use primers underneath your face paints. Do you want to see this? Because that was just from that short amount of time. Now it will come off when I wash it off here in just a second. But, so how cool is that, y'all? That's finished look. I lied. I am going to do some lashes. Let's see. I was going to put on falsies. How do y'all feel about falsies? Falsies or just mascara? Guys, I have a yellow hand. Super cool, right? I dig it. So we're going to put this mascara on. This is our Limelife mascara. It is fiber mascara. I really need to warm it up some. It is fiber mascara, but it's not like other fiber mascaras on the market. So this is actually professional grade mascara. $20, y'all. 20 bucks a tube. It makes a huge difference. It's hypoallergenic. It doesn't agitate my eyes. My eyes don't get red and watery. And I have really sensitive eyes and really sensitive skin. So I am going to put some falsies on just for the final look. So we're going to put a tad bit of, I need to order a new mascara. Tad bit of lashes on the bottom. Not much. I don't want to build too much down there. Very funny, Dave. I wing it, Cassie. Right now, I don't have any reference pictures. So, because I have no way to look at anything because I don't have Wi-Fi. So my tablet, normally I would look at my tablet. Normally I would look at my tablet and be able to see that and sort of use that as a source reference picture. But because I don't have any Wi-Fi here at the new house yet, I can't really do that. So I'm going to be putting a few accessories on and then taking an after picture. So I'm going to put my lashes on, but I'll save y'all the drama of me doing those on camera. So you guys just be paying attention for the after photo. If you guys have any questions or you want to book a Halloween appointment, let me know. I could pretty much replicate any look. We'll give it our best shot anyway. And then we can book appointments. I have already booked 2 for actual Halloween day. 2 children's appointments, but I will have some adult, adult Halloween parties are usually on the